All right. So every 6 months, we share an updated roadmap that outlines the foundation and DAO team's high level objectives and each team's priorities that help the mutual meet those objectives. Looking at our core objectives here, the core objectives largely remain the same as the previous 6 month roadmap. Growth is still the top priority for all teams, and our focus will be on growing cover sales in the next 6 months now that stage one of the tokenomics upgrade is complete. We'll be focused on growing and building our community so we can scale the DAO and work with more members looking to help us realize these high level objectives. While stage one of the tokenomics has been implemented, the R&D and engineering teams will need to conduct research to finalize stage two of the tokenomics revamp, which is focused on how the mutual manage capitalization levels when the capital pool approaches the cover-driven minimum capital requirement limits. And progressive decentralization is the final high-level objective. As we grow our community, evaluate how more members can get active within the DAO and how we can update governance to allow more people and specialists to get involved, we can continue down the path of decentralization. Now, let's look at each team that will be supporting these objectives, and we'll start on the next slide with the engineering team and their priorities for the next 6 months. So to help us drive growth, the engineering team will be updating the cover buy UI to improve the user experience in Q1, as well as implementing the cover edits feature so people can simply edit their existing cover NFT to renew or increase their coverage instead of needing to buy a whole new cover NFT. So these features will help reduce friction and should contribute to higher renewal rates and cover buys over time. In addition, the engineers are going to work to optimize the cover router and pursue gas optimizations throughout the different functions within the protocol to help reduce gas costs for members when they are participating within the mutual. The engineers are also going to launch a notification framework that will allow members to subscribe to notifications for when they join as members, to know when their KYC is complete, to get updates when their cover is close to expiring or when their staking pool deposit is close to expiring, and other things like that. You know, when a governance proposal is coming up for vote that they want to get notifications about, that notification service will help people stay engaged and stay updated as well. The engineers are also going to work on completing the technical work required to close the cover reinvestment and retrocession agreement, and this will significantly increase premiums flowing into the capital pool. They'll also work to support the addition of new cover products and work with the investment committee if new proposals to invest the capital pool float are pursued. The engineering team has a pretty full agenda for the next 6 months, but over the last 6 months, the engineers were able to develop, audit, and implement the tokenomics upgrade after members approved NMPIP 209 through an on-chain vote. That was the top priority over the last 6 months, and I think everyone's very happy to see that implemented. They also improved the mutual security measures and will continue to do so over the next 6 months. I'll move on to the next slide and talk about the BD team's priorities for the next 6 months. So the BD team will work with staking pool managers to develop and launch new cover products. There are currently cover products in development that would allow the mutual to expand into new market segments and grow cover sales and premiums. This also includes working with the engineering team to develop an MVP for new ETH slashing cover products to further expand into that market segment. The BD team will also be conducting research into traditional risk markets to evaluate other deal structures similar to the cover redeal, so the mutual can use on-chain capital to underwrite off-chain risks and grow cover sales and premiums. And of course, the BD team will continue to work and support existing staking pool managers within the Nexus Mutual ecosystem to help managers scale and sell more cover. Through work with managers like Sherlock, Uno, Re, and Ease, and distributors such as OpenCover, the mutual can create more open capacity and reach new users on L2s where gas costs are accessible for more retail users. In the last 6 months, the BD team secured the cover redeal, closed the retail mutual deal, onboarded new staking pool managers, and scaled existing partnerships with teams like Liquid Collective. We've seen protocol cover sales decline in 2023 due to low yields, but as we see yields picking back up, we're seeing more inbound and a greater focus on new listings. But keep an eye out for new protocol cover listings and our listing spotlights on Twitter. Moving to the next slide, I'll talk a bit about the Foundation legal team. So the legal team has been working to finalize arrangements with members who have received claim payments from the mutual and also received reimbursement through either bankruptcy proceedings or direct reimbursement per their mandate in NMPIP 205. This includes pursuing reimbursements to the capital pool for FTX, BlockFi, Gemini, Holdernot, Euler, and any other applicable claims. So reimbursement is being pursued to ensure cover holders can't earn a profit at the expense of NXM stakers. As developments are made on reimbursement, we'll share updates, but so far the legal team has done some incredible work on this end. Legal also plays a major role in the Cover Re deal and other deals like it, as well as in the development process for new cover products. Over the last 6 months, the legal team has pursued reimbursement, established legal infrastructure for the foundation, and evaluated and helped update cover wording documents to provide members with greater clarity on what protections are included, in addition to other initiatives. On the next slide, I'll go over the product and risk team priorities. Just as an FYI, the product and risk team is jointly managed by myself and Hugh, and we're supported by the legal team. Our work over the next 6 months will be in a support capacity when it comes to the Cover Re deal, new cover product development, and new listings. We'll also support the account abstraction research project, which will involve the engineering and BD teams to evaluate how the mutual can use account abstraction in the future to improve the user experience in the Nexus Mutual UI. I'll also be working on a membership benefits program project to evaluate supplementary services which we can offer our members to improve the benefits of membership and support growth in new members. In the last 6 months, we've created the claims history database, worked with legal to create cover wording templates and guidelines, and expanded to managing the listing process for new protocol cover listings. There's been a significant amount of support provided to the new cover product development process, and we've provided support to other teams as needed as well. Moving on to talk about the R&D team. Of course, the major accomplishment for R&D in the last 6 months has been the management, communication, and the execution of the tokenomics upgrade project. But over the next 6 months, the R&D team will continue to work with the engineering team on stage 2 of the tokenomics project. R&D is also going to create an improved process for refreshing the cover-based MCR calculation parameter on a regular basis, which will include accounting for the various risks the mutual is now underwriting to ensure there's always enough capital to pay all claims. I'll also work to support the investment committee, as well as maintain the existing Dune dashboards that created in the last 6 months and in 2023. In the last 6 months, the R&D team has created the NXM staking Dune dashboard and the ratcheting AMM Dune dashboard, which has been hugely popular in the last several months. On the next slide, I'll talk about the community team priorities. In the next 6 months, our core goal is going to be to grow our community, increase engagement, and re-engage members who maybe haven't been as involved as they were in the past, and improve awareness about the mutual through our social channels. We'll be updating the DAO website to include the governance hub, which will be a one-stop shop for everything you need to know to stay involved and get involved in the current governance proposals and votes. The Staking Pool Managers Hub, which will be a central repository for new and existing pool managers to track new listings, staking analytics, and for guides on how to launch and effectively manage a pool. We'll include on the DAO website information on the DAO teams, where we are in executing on our priorities, resources about staying safe in DeFi, and more. We really want to expand the DAO website to be a place where members can go and find all the resources they need to stay involved and to learn more about becoming active within the DAO. We're also going to launch an interview series on Discord and Twitter Spaces to talk with DeFi builders about risks in DeFi, what primitives we need to see to power mainstream adoption, and how people are building on top of the Nexus Mutual protocol in an effort to create greater awareness and build our community. I'll also be working to get the V2 contracts included on all the major portfolio aggregators, such as Xerion, DBank, Zapper, and others. This will help us improve our discoverability and will just be a nice perk for members who like to review all of their portfolio holdings in one place. I'm a big fan of Xerion myself. The last 6 months have been quite busy, as the community team played a pretty important role in educating people about the tokenomics revamp project and facilitating discussions on the forum about this as well. We've also overhauled our Discord server in the last 6 months to make it easier to find information and stay engaged. And we've worked to improve communication between the wider community and staking pool managers. This, of course, is an ongoing process, but we've seen more capacity requests and subsequent cover buys when we've connected requests for cover with managers who are able to open up capacity. Overall, it's been an incredibly eventful 6 months for all of the Foundation and DAO teams, but we're looking at another busy 6 months. I'm looking forward to growing cover sales and building our community in Q1 and Q2.